But hello.
Hi. You look fantastic.
Thank you. I mean, you mean evil, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, evil can be fantastic.
Evil can be fantastic. Well, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you as well. I have a meme that apparently I've been sharing for more than like 15 years on Facebook. So like, you know how they give you the memories of today?
Oh yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
My memory from today, from for like literally the past 14 years, is this meme. It's like a play on what he said during that scene. I love one of my favorite scenes. I fucking laugh every single time.
I'm realizing that our cosplay probably would have been more appropriate for tomorrow, Revenge of the 5th, but that's
okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I also
spent the day mad at the Jedi, so this was appropriate today.
Oh, that's fair. Well, here, tell me if you guys can hear this.
Oh, it's quiet.
It's my lightsaber. Can you hear it making the sounds?
Okay. So next time that the kid is awake, you're going to have to explain to him that lightsabers do make noise when you fight, because he doesn't like when I make the noise when we fight. He doesn't like it at all. He says they don't make noise, which is false.
Fun fact, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen used to get yelled at by the directors and the producers and the set crew because they would make the sounds with their mouths all the time. Yep.
That's what I do. That's how I like to play lightsabers.
Yes, Glenn. It is a purple lightsaber or magenta, whatever you want to do. I don't do color theory. And this is the color crystals that go inside the lightsaber. It's pretty cool. And this is my lightsaber.
I really wanted to do that when I was down at Disney, but I did not because I wasn't sure how it would get home.
Yeah, this is one of the official ones that you could build in the thing. I chose a Rancor tooth for the hilt.
I also was not aware at that time that like building your own lightsaber was such a thing. I was uninitiated to all the content at that time.
Yeah, building the lightsaber is really cool. It's expensive and you have to like book it. So like if it's something that you do go to Disney and you want to try to do, you have to like, it's a thing that you have to sign up for like before you even come to Florida, because it's one of those like things that books up fast.
How did you celebrate today? What did you do?
I watched Star Wars all day today.
Me too.
Starting with Maul, the new episodes of Maul.
I can't watch that yet. I'm working on it. I'm getting closer.
I don't know how someone could swing a lightsaber around and not make the sounds. I totally agree.
We use bubble wands for lightsabers in my house, but I still absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, you have to. I didn't know that. The actors with the blasters did the same thing. That's funny.
Pew, pew, pew. That's not as much fun, though.
It's not.
Well, I watched movies 1, 2, and 3 and just was railing on the Jedi for failing Anakin all day today.
Always failing Anakin, failing Ahsoka, failing the Republic.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who has helped out world governments before, I wonder how this character that he's cosplaying would help out the Republic at its tail end, or maybe the budding empire. Let's see.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Yay!
All right, Jason, I purposely didn't ask you like before the call when you joined before we went live, because I wanted to try to say your last name correctly without help yet. So let me see if I can get it. Is it Koelewyn?
Very, very close. That's better than most of my teachers ever did in school. So it's Koelewyn.
I say it?
Koelewyn.
Koelewyn. Oh, that's even
Not what I would have said.
The game that we always play is guess the derivation, and it's kind of a trick question. If you know derivations of names, the spelling was changed. It used to be a giveaway. It used to be WIJN.
That would I don't know. Like I was gonna say, I don't know which one is like more fantasy. Because this one,
the original spelling, I think, is a little bit more fantasy.
That's fair. This one is very Wheel of Timey, right off the bat, like with the WYN at the end, like easily could be like someone from the Two Rivers or something. With no issue.
That's very true.
Glenn, Tom would have to remember. Sorry, they jumped. Would have to remember what everybody said last week.
That's true.
That's
Like my brain does not work very well right now. I'm still running on a liquid. So I had surgery, Jason.
Yeah.
And which is why we had to cancel your episode that you were going to do, because I had it that morning. And Crystal had to go defend democracy in her county, so she was busy. She couldn't do the show that night either.
Okay. I'm going back again next Monday, but I'll be here for the show. I'm going to go speak and peace out.
Nice.
We gotta. Yes. Thank you very much. I did not put a lot of effort into my costume. I'm just I'm wearing my my old Sith robes. I mean, they're actually robes that I had made for Jordan Con 1 when I was an Ashaman. But Crystal, you look awesome. How do I take myself off of this thing? I don't know how to do it now.
No,
there it goes.
Okay. You broke it.
And you
look fantastic.
Well, thank you. I had more plans, but I picked the wrong night to run out of black eyeliner.
No, it looks great. I think it looks great. And then obviously, Jason, what do you think? So how would Matt help out the Republic? Do you think Matt would be a good addition? Like, how do you think he could help them?
Well, I mean, you stick him in almost anywhere that stuff is going wrong, and just let him, blindfold and start throwing knives. And
I feel like he would join the Bad Batch. I'm thinking he's, I think that's where he fits in.
Have you seen the Bad Batch, Jason?
I have. I'm all caught up on Maul as well, which was very. I binged the first 8 episodes in a single night, so
I don't blame you. Yeah, we won't spoil anything.
No spoilers. But it is beautifully done. The art is great, very Japanese style with the animation, and just Maul has always been such a conflicted and interesting character, and they really captured that.
I will say he has been in the animated content. Having watched like movies 1, 2, and 3 today, it doesn't like the fact that he is this silent character just completely does him zero justice. I don't know how anyone who hadn't seen the animated content would think he was cool. Like, it wasn't even that terrifying. Him speaking is what is so terrifying.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That is fair. A lot of the Clone Wars, a lot of the content, especially from stuff that happened before the original movies, really got fleshed out in the animated stuff so much more than they were able to cover in the movies themselves. And that really is what gave that whole era the depth that I think really has gotten so many people who are not from I'm not sure how old both of you are, but from my generation. When
we're close in age.
Tom's the baby.
Yeah. They really didn't. It's really what brought like a whole new generation into the fold, into the fandom.
Well, I am new to all of that. So as of mid-January, pretty much when I went to Disney, I had seen 0 of the animated content, and had kind of like I liked Star Wars. Was cool. Now it's a way of life in my house for myself and my son. I am obsessed, absolutely obsessed.
As per usual, I'm gonna go and hang out in Discord afterwards, which both of you are obviously welcome to join if you would like to. If not, it's perfectly fine. I know it's going to be late. But we can talk Maul when we go in Discord and hang out and stuff, and we'll give people a heads up before we do any spoilers. But I'm going to be staying up late tonight because I want to watch Solo. So if anyone wants to join us for another watch party after this live watch party where we watch Clone Wars, we're going to watch Solo tonight in a watch party on Discord when we're done with this. So if anyone wants to join for that, feel free. But as a promo for Maul, and I told everyone that I would get some clips to share for you guys from this. Erin got me an awesome birthday gift for my birthday, which was a couple of weeks ago. And I have a fun I took a couple of clips, but one of them is like 100% just Sam Witwer. I got it from, it's a cameo from Sam Witwer talking about Maul, because she mentioned to him that I was watching Maul and we were doing this Clone Wars thing. She 100% made sure to mention that I host a show and we are watching Clone Wars live, just in case. Maybe, you never know. But here, hold on. Oh, and I love this too, because apparently we're nemesis now.
What's up, Tom? How are you doing? Sam Witwer here. So Jedi Master Aaron tells me that you're turning 40, which is a lot younger than me. And you'll be punished for that. I'm not going to stand by that. That's not. You have become a rival, and you will be destroyed.
It's so good.
I thought that was
It's so good. So Aaron sent the link to a bunch of us to put stuff on there. I checked obsessively after she sent it, waiting to see that pop up to see what he was gonna say.
Yay! Thank you, Rapunzel. Always looking out for us. Sam was he was really cool. He said a couple of really nice things, especially because it was right after we lost Lanfear, which was one of our cats.
Yeah.
We named Lanfear. He had a nice message for that, but he also said this about Maul, and this was when he mentioned this. It's important to note that only the first 2 episodes were out, so that's what he's referencing when he says the next couple of episodes.
I understand that you're watching the Maul show. I will tell you that this next couple of episodes is insane, and then it only gets crazier from there. Things get real. Just wait.
And he was not lying. Just in case anyone was on the fence about watching Maul, take it from Sam Witwer. It was fantastic.
Trying to get through Rebels before I do that.
What did you think, Jason? Since you watched it, and anyone in chat who's watched it already, what did you think it was gonna be? And were you pleasantly surprised? How do you feel after watching it? Minimal, again, spoilers, not too many spoilers.
So again, I think it was before we started. I mentioned that I binge watched all 8 episodes just a couple nights ago, straight through. So I'd been dodging spoilers, but I knew a little bit about the setup, the general, very, very, 10,000 foot view of what the plot was going to be. So I had a little bit of that going into it, but there's certainly, so many great details. And again, trying to not give spoilers. A lot of the characters were very surprising, and in a good way.
Yeah.
There were definitely some things where it's Star Wars. The foreshadowing on certain characters was okay. We know what this person is going to be, but they were all fresh. There were a lot of characters who were not kind of the typical. Redone of from every other thing that we've seen before, so it really felt fresh. Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. It's especially the Mandalorians, they weren't all the cookie cutter type of Mandalorians that we've seen, especially Rook Cast, which is the name of his second in command there. And for those who don't remember the end of the Clone Wars, Maul essentially becomes the Mandalore, the leader of the Mandalorian Empire at the end of that series there. At the end of this series, which is, I think, 7 seasons altogether.
7.
Right? Yeah. But my favorite cast member, and I'm definitely going to share, this isn't a spoiler to I'm not going to say anything about the cast member, but my favorite fucking cast member is Dennis Haysbert. He, for those who don't remember him, he's the Allstate guy. He plays a pretty awesome character. I have a picture of him I'm going to share in a second. His voice though is iconic. I'm surprised he wasn't already in Star Wars or something like that. This is him. Fucking phenomenal. I think he was in Homeland. That was one of his big shows that he did.
He was like a SEAL team leader in a TV series for a while. I can't remember which one it was though. It wasn't SEAL Team 6. That was.
Was it Homeland? I know he was in Homeland, but I don't remember.
I mean, he's been in a lot. But yes, that was a voice that was almost enough to take me out of the immersion a little bit from time to time, which is the one drawback with a voice as distinctive as his.
That's fair.
But still, he rocked that role. So you gotta give it to him.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I mean, his delivery of lines is amazing. I'm just, there's so much. The Mall series had me laugh a whole lot, be like shocked at like lore bits that I didn't realize were things that we will talk about eventually.
Sorry, I'm hurrying.
And I definitely teared up a couple times. Yeah, and then these last couple episodes, I was just shitting my pants the entire time.
The droids. I mean,
oh yeah,
both sides.
Mm-hmm.
There is the character, the depth of character in some of the droids.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's a Star Wars classic, but they really nailed it. They really nailed it.
The what's his name? Lawson.
Yeah.
The cop or whatever. Yeah, he's like he's really cool, and I love that they let him use his native Brazilian accent for the role.
Yes,
I saw a couple of interviews with him where he talked about how influential Diego Luna's character was on him, and how he was so happy to see characters from outer space with real human accents, but not having to be forced to just use a default European accent, like being able to just Diego Luna's Mexican, so he had his northern, I think, Mexican accent. It was really cool stuff. And that guy, the guy that plays this cop, is like I'll remember Wagner Mora, I think his name is. I remembered it because I almost went to Wagner to college.
Nice.
But he said he's been a huge Star Wars fan his whole life. He grew up on the movies and the cartoons, and he was just excited. He was a little sad he didn't get to use a lightsaber. His character didn't use a lightsaber. He's just a regular cop, not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But he said he was just happy to be in Star Wars. It was like a thing that he always wanted. Yeah, see, I got it right. Mora, maybe Mora. I probably am pronouncing it wrong, but it's close. Those Portuguese names are crazy. I heard my cousin married a Portuguese woman, like someone from Brazil, and she said it sounds like Portuguese is like drunk Spanish.
Wow.
That's how I've always thought of it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you guys speak any other languages? I don't.
A little bit of Spanish.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I used to, a very long time ago, speak a little bit of Hebrew, but that's long gone.
Like most young Jewish boys, you have to learn Hebrew, and then it just goes right out of the head usually.
Well, I've been over there several times. I actually have a lot of family over, so it's I actually have to use it outside of the classroom, but again, it just goes right out when you don't use it.
Oh yeah, I grew up in New York, and I've been to many bat and bar mitzvahs. Both from like an Orthodox side and like a not so Orthodox side.
Look at you control that camera.
Different. Yeah,
it keeps turning it on by itself. It's so. There we go. Now it's off now. The AI tracking is off. I don't like AI. Not on my camera. Anyway, when obviously you're a huge Wheel of Time fan too.
Yes.
And I in the description of this video is a link to your Etsy shop where you sell all kinds of fun laser cut things. Yes. But you got some really fun news / information about your selling of things at JordanCon. Would you like to share?
Yeah, so right after JordanCon, I got
after JordanCon. Okay.
So 2 years ago, I created my Cards Against the Wheel 606 card, completely written to the Wheel of Time themed deck, and then for this last year, because Sanderson was going to be at JordanCon, I did a Cosmere version, which is even bigger. The cards are actually etched aluminum.
That's crazy.
There's a deck of my Wheel of Time one in Harriet's house, and I hand delivered a set of the Cosmere to to Sanderson at JordanCon. So yeah, that was the big one for me. That was very exciting.
That's awesome. I always tell people Brandon loves that type of stuff. Like he loves when fans make things, and cosplay especially he loves. And he has like a whole section in his house dedicated to things like that people have given him.
Yeah. And
I wonder,
the big section in the office too. That's
yeah.
just wall to wall stuff that people send in.
He loves that stuff.
Yeah.
He even uses his personal magic card like deck holder thing is a thing that a fan made for him and gave to him, which is I think is pretty cool. He always has it at like when he goes to cons where he can actually play Magic. He doesn't always have the time to do that, but he always brings that with him, and I just think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
One of the other things is specifically that our guest from last week, which I hope everyone remembers, Christina, our lovely friend and author of amazing books, not just because she put me in them. Mainly, it was because she put my cat in it.
I was gonna say that's yep. Mm-hmm.
It's because Luna is a whole character in it. She told me specifically that I had to ask you about this book that you have, and I have a couple of pictures to share with people.
So at cons, a lot of people bring ribbons, and I've been doing medallions. And what I found 2 years ago was if I just hook them onto a carabiner, they get all twisted, and it's a nightmare. So I needed a way to carry my medallions, and I wanted it to fit with my cosplay. So yeah, it's a belt holder with a little secret hidden drawer for swag and seek tags for people who do swag and seek.
Love it.
And then the book is the Travels of Jane Farstrider. Obviously, I always cosplay as Matt, and so it is monogrammed to Matt from Noel. With a nice little note, cool. And then inside is a grid of very thin gaps where I can slide in the medallions that I give out.
That is so cool.
That's fun. I love that.
And so I've actually made a few of these on commission without the grid inside, and with different book titles because no one else gets Jane Farstrider. That's mine.
That's entirely fair. I support that. And just to show everyone again, so you can see a little bit closer up pictures. It's so
There's actually
cool.
that slot behind the book actually has space for a cell phone and ribbons and other things that you might collect, just so you have some place to put them.
That's wonderful.
While you're wearing your cosplay.
Oh yeah, you could see it a little bit better there. Yeah, that's cool, man.
The one other thing that you can't see in that picture, if you look in here. It's the Blood Calls Blood in a in blood red epoxy.
That's wonderful. That's a lot of work that goes into those. Like, there's a lot of yes, you use a laser cutter to cut the shapes out, but there's a lot of painting and sanding and finish work that goes on that. It's really nice looking. I think you did a great job with that.
The other book titles, I've done a couple that actually did not have titles because people wanted to decorate the books themselves. The one I did for the charity auction, I'm not going to get it right, but it's a quote in the old tongue that Matt gives in book 4 that basically translates to "I'm lost in my own mind," and the monogram was basically a series of Matt quotes. It was basically Matt's book that he wrote after the story ended.
I can only imagine. How many pages would be dedicated to his tavern exploits with the band?
Quite a few. Elaborate backstories. Lots of descriptions of elaborate backstories.
That's cool. So since you're a Wheel of Time fan, one of the things that we ask our guests that are also Wheel of Time fans is, do you have a favorite character, and is the slog real? There you go. Thanks, Nomi.
So quite obviously, I am a Matt fan.
Yeah,
I've been for a very long time. My opinion on the slog is that the slog was real. The slog was real for those of us old enough to have had to wait 3+ years between some of those later installment books. When you can binge straight through, it's not nearly as noticeable. But But when you had these books that were all built up and very little payoff, and you had waited 3 years to get that book, and you had to wait 3 years to get the next book, that's really, in my opinion, where the slog came from, because that activity, that whole process was the slog. But yeah, now, like, my daughter has read the books, and I warned her the slog was coming, and she was like, I didn't notice it at all. So
I've always been of that opinion that I never really noticed the slog, but I consume content differently than a lot of people. Like for me, the Wheel of Time is one story, and like you can't really take anything out. Like there's just it all matters to the story that's in the book. So which is not to say I didn't enjoy the show, because I really enjoyed the show a lot.
Yeah, but like I like to say, like Matt has to really has to think about whether or not a memory is his or someone else's. That's kind of how I feel about, wait, which book did this happen in? At this point, and I mean, I did read that. I picked them up when book 5 hit hardback. So I've been doing this for a while. In fact, I used to interact. I was on Theoryland. I interacted with Jason back in the early days of Dragonmount.
Oh yeah.
My claim to fame for a really long time was I was actually the first one to report back from Jordan's last signing tour that Memory of Light was the title for the final book.
That's awesome. That's cool.
So yeah, and I got to meet Robert Jordan at a signing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the Knife of Dreams signing.
What's that?
The Knife of Dreams signings.
Dreams. Yep. So it was he was looking very tired, and we just thought he was tired, and then we found out that
not long after. Yeah. That was also the last time I saw him, was at a Knife of Dreams signing too, in New York.
We're Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Oh, not far away. Not far away. Yeah. I considered going to a couple more, but I at the time didn't have a reliable vehicle.
Yeah. And signings were very different. I mean, even from like the first Brandon book signing, was at the Philadelphia Free Library, which is a massive, the line went around the block, and it was a huge thing. But, when I saw Robert Jordan for Knife of Dreams, it was 20 people in the back corner of a bookstore. Yeah. And that was it. And then that's just how signings were. Like they didn't get, it was in that interval that things really started to kind of change in the whole, production of book signings as like a big event.
Yeah. It was right around pretty much when Jordan Con first started, and right at as Robert Jordan was passing away, that like fantasy started hitting mainstream more.
Yeah.
I want to say the first season of Game of Thrones wasn't too much longer after that. It was like 2 years later, which means it was already in development. So Erin has shared the link to the instructions on how to join the watch party, which should be we'll be getting started here in a couple of minutes. And this is gonna be the first time in like a couple of weeks, or no, actually maybe like a month or so, since we've done. You're muted, by the way, Crystal. Since we've done the Inside the Dragonmount Studio questionnaire, but we get to do that today, which is exciting. But in addition to that, I want to ask you, what color lightsaber would you have? If obviously mine is purple.
I think I would have to go with purple as well. When I played the recent Jedi
Survivor or whatever.
Yeah, so that whole series, I always go with the purple.
Cool. The purple has always been my color of choice, except for a little while when my favorite Jedi Master of the end of the Republic, Plo Koon, he had a orange lightsaber when he first came into canon, and I really liked that. It was in like his first appearance was like in a PlayStation 2 game or something. Wow. And I was like, I love that guy. That guy is awesome.
Nice.
He had a really cool voice, and he had like a Darth Vader-esque mask in that, and an orange lightsaber. So I was like, he's cool. And I always like when we used to Something that we used to do as children, I'm sure a lot of nerds can go with this. I wonder if you guys or Crystal, if you ever did anything like this with your friends. We used to choreograph lightsaber fights. So we would go to the beach and we had stickball bats. That's what we used because that's all we had.
Stickball, because you were from New York.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We were from New York.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's like basically a short bow staff for those who don't know. It's just a stick. It's just a big stick. And a lot of broken fingers. And we would go to the beach and choreograph lightsaber fights, doing flips and jumps. And this is before cell phone cameras too, so we didn't record any of it, which is probably for the best.
I'm happy that I grew up before all of that was happening.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't know how I would function. Like, I feel so bad for kids nowadays that have to like go to school with social media and stuff.
Oh, I told one of my students I didn't have a cell phone until I was 19, and they were like, "What?
What?"
It was like a fourth grader. They were like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's no internet in my house like that."
You actually can have a rainbow lightsaber now.
Have a smartphone.
Oh yeah, forget it.
No. So we didn't do that. One, some of the more acrobatic stuff really wasn't in canon until I was in college, at least.
Yeah.
But I fenced, so.
There you go.
We just made the noises while we were fencing.
Mm-hmm.
A man after Count Dooku's own heart. Count Dooku is the big, and that's because Sir Christopher Lee was an amazing fencer and swordsman and super spy and member of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is what they called their like MI6 when they first formed it under Churchill, which that movie that came out with Henry Cavill and what's his name from Reacher is based on a true story. And the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is a real thing, and Christopher Lee was really in it, which is freaking awesome.
One of my favorite stories about him is when he was on the set for Lord of the Rings. Someone was getting their throat slit, and he had to tell Peter Jackson, that's not how that should look. That's not how that should sound. I know. Yep.
And Peter Jackson was like, we took his direction on that. I remember that's one of my favorite quotes from that too. That was fantastic. Speaking of television shows and movies, since today was Star Wars Day, they didn't really release that much new information. Like I was expecting like a big release or something, but they didn't really drop anything big. They did put another Mandalorian and Grogu trailer out.
Oh, nice.
But not really a lot. There wasn't any new footage.
Yeah,
it wasn't any new footage. What's up?
Just a recut.
Yeah, just a recut. Yeah. But one thing I did see was Jon Favreau was on the red carpet for something recently, and he reiterated that the Mandalorian Grogu is like the family. Like he's like, I like the genre shifts that we're doing with Star Wars, and Maul is much certainly like out of the age range that 10 to 12-year-olds would be in for Clone Wars. It's a little bit more adult. And he mentioned that Mandalorian and Grogu was more of a family-esque film.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how that plays out in the theater. But we did see Zeb and again in the thing, which was great. Nice. And I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. That'll be good.
All right, I'm gonna get ready to press play over on the Clone Wars. So I'm gonna share the Aaron will share the link again, and if you're hanging out with us in there, you just have to sit back and watch. If not, I'll give you a countdown and you could follow along that way. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and play. Yay! Okay. And you should have volume controls within Discord and all that that you can control yourself if you want to adjust those. So Brothers in Arm are brothers for life. Since you're a Wheel of Time fan, Jason, who do you think in Wheel of Time could have done with that bit of advice or that little excerpt there?
Well, I think the half brothers definitely could have used a little bit more of that. Galad and Goyang.
Yeah.
But I think the big three definitely kind of embodied that, not throughout the whole series, but at the end they definitely brought their brotherhood back together.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things I really loved that the show did, was kind of play up their love for each other and their it was very untoxically masculine, which I like.
Yes.
So does this training thing that they do here makes me really feel like a little bit like the Starship Troopers training when they were doing, because the course looks very similar. I was waiting for someone's hand to get stabbed.
Ender's Game too.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I forgot about Ender's Game. That was a decent movie. A fun Wheel of Time fact about Ender's Game: Harriet McDougal, Robert Jordan's wife, who is like a very big editor in the editing world, way even before Wheel of Time, she discovered Robert Jordan.
Yep.
She edited Ender's Game.
Oh.
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah.
And L. Ron Hubbard personally asked for her to edit Dianetics, which is like the Scientology Bible, but she said no because he was too weird.
You know how weird it would be for Harriet to say you're too weird?
Yeah.
That's a lot of weird.
Yeah. That I got right from Harriet too.
That's funny.
Yeah. And for anyone who isn't like hugely into the Star Wars like ancillary races and stuff like that, that is a Togruta, which is what Ahsoka is. So if you ever wanted to see what Ahsoka would look like all grown up and you haven't seen the Ahsoka TV show, something along the lines of that. The fact that a Jedi is like overseeing this like battle and combat training and not doing any kind of philosophical, yeah, but like anything, like to just be like, maybe you should like, just to try to teach a little bit of philosophy to them, so it's like, they're being Jedi still and not just warriors. Just another failing of the Jedi, in my opinion. We blame all of the Jedi Masters here for basically the fall of the Republic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's all their fault. Yoda.
I mean, Mace Yoda's Windu, top of my list. It's his fault.
They really dropped the ball on a lot of things in this timeline here.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's a philosophy right there.
Yeah. I just wish she taught that to the cadets.
Yeah.
Well, but she would have to see them as people.
Oh yeah, that's fair. We get the first mention of of Bad Batch as a thing in this episode. They get called a Bad Batch.
No.
That's fair. That's a fair one. Yoda's like, what, 900 years old at this point? So something I realized, like, I don't think I've ever thought about it before, but it occurred to me when I was watching this. They do such a great job with the clones. Like, I never felt like, and I noticed it in this episode, like, I never felt like it's the same person just like,
Right.
And like they all really are their own characters.
Oh, yeah.
And the slight nuances in their voice, in the voice that the actor does, like it's D. Bradley Baker, who is like, forget it. But like, I never felt like they were the same character. Yay, a Twitter bot. I mean, a Twitch bot. I like when we get bots. It's fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to influence them a little bit.
What is this guy with the big brain? What is he?
Oh, Brick? I don't know. I meant to look that up and I completely forgot.
Glenn.
I think this is one of those races that doesn't exist anywhere.
Oh, really?
He's a Sinitine. He was a bounty hunter. He's a Sinitine. Siniten.
Okay.
I'm looking when their first appearance was.
Bad Batch.
Ooh, on this day, May the 4th, 2026, Glenn did not know something Star Wars related. I'm going to write that down.
One
On
of those
this day.
one-off weird freaking things. This is the first, the very first appearance of this race.
Okay.
Is in this episode of Clone Wars. This character appears again, like in the series again, but Satines also come back in a lot of the comic books apparently.
Oh, okay.
But this is the first one. One of my favorite things to see in the Clone Wars is Dave Filoni's influence on the animals. Like when we see especially the newest, the stuff like from Rebels and Bad Batch, because you can really see the Avatar: The Last Airbender influence, because Dave Filoni worked on Avatar the first season and I think a little bit into the second season. I know he left the show while the first season was airing, but you could definitely see the more like combinations of animals in the later stuff in the animated series that Dave Filoni did. Much more so than like, the stuff that we see in the original movies and things like that.
There's a whole evolution of that just in special effects and creature building. The original movies were, it was the stuff that ILM was able to put together. Everything had to be on a much larger scale. The detail had to be much larger, and so you couldn't get things like the Loth Cat or anything that was had that kind of like facial expression and control and fluidity, because the medium just wouldn't allow it and the technology wouldn't allow it. So
yeah,
there's a whole progression, and it's not just in Star Wars kind of started it, but through a lot of different media, you can see that progression as the tech gets better.
Yeah. And like Star Wars invented a lot of that tech.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Lucas Arts and Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, like invented a lot of that.
Yep. It didn't exist. They had to create it to make the movie.
Yep. And as time goes on, they're always at the forefront of like new digital tech and stuff like that for film and animation. They broke a lot of new technology and new animation styles in Clone Wars and Rebels and now in Maul. It's absolutely gorgeous.
They also show up if you really look at the credits on a lot of non-Star Wars stuff. You'll see them.
Oh yeah,
popping up and in very unexpected places, and just because they are the cutting edge, and if you really need something new, that's one of the few places you can go to.
Like this is going to be a bad joke, a bad dad joke coming. I don't know. How do we know Yoda's last name, Aaron? Do you guys know the answer to this one? I don't. How do you know Yoda's last name? I don't know. I don't think canonically he actually has one. It's Leahy.
Yoda-lay-hee-hoo. It was terrible, Aaron. It was terrible.
I would tell you to go home, but I know you're already there. And it's just down the hall for me. But this is why I love her. It hurts so good. It also go ahead.
No, I was just trying to think back. I feel like this is one of the first episodes of Clone Wars I watched. Like, I feel like you watched this one early if you watch it in chronological order. It's very, very early in the process that you see 301.
Yeah, this is definitely like if you watch it in chronological order, you're watching a lot of season 3 episodes.
Like I feel like this might have been
first.
the first. I don't know.
I forgot about that. I have not watched the Clone Wars since it first came out when it was like episodic on TV.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the way they did time like that.
Yeah, this is like the beginning of the war.
Mhm.
It could even be pre the war. No, it's not, because the Jedi know about the clones. But but it's very early in the Separatist War, I think it's called. And I forgot who asked me. Someone asked last week about we were talking about the colors of the things. The clones often use ion blasters that shoot ion cannons. They're basically things that'll disrupt droids. They're like EMP blasts and stuff that are better to use on the droids because it disrupts them. Yeah, that's fair. The cantina scene from the original series. They also renamed it used to be called Jizz Music, Jizz.
Nice.
But when he named it that in 1978 or whatever it was, that wasn't a thing. So, but they changed it. I think it's like Frizz now or Shiz or something like that. It's something like so much worse. Max Rebo and his Jizz Band. That's what it was called. That's it. The original toy, like the toy, was Max Rebo and the Jizz Band. That's
Lovely.
Linguistic shifts.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's hilarious. Is that like that whole top of their head brain?
That's what I assumed. That seems really unsafe just to have it out there like that.
Yeah, that is their
like bony. I mean, that's the question. Is it soft or is it bony?
That's their brain.
Don't trip.
I'm looking to see if it says anything. It says they have large advanced brains able to perform complex calculations, including they can plot hyperspace jumps without the aid of a navigation computer, which is crazy because no one can do that.
Mm-hmm. But if they bump into something, they're goners.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like it. It doesn't look like they have a skull.
Seems like an evolutionary detriment there.
Yeah. I could see why they would make him a general, though. He's like the strategy droids that they have in charge of all of the droid armies.
All I can think is, look at the big brain on Brad.
Oh God, that's wonderful. Wait, who said that? Is that Eddie Merton? No. Who said that?
Gosh. You know, that is something that is just part of my vernacular, Tom.
I know. Look at the big. No, that's Samuel L. Jackson. It's Pulp Fiction.
There you go.
I got there. Look at the big brain on Brad. I got there eventually. Took me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got there. The little man that has to go through all of the filing cabinets in my head to remember movie quotes just took a second to get there.
Very efficient. I mean, I feel like he works pretty quick.
Yeah, usually. My Adderall is not wearing off yet, and that's probably why. Because I usually on Mondays I usually remember to take it a little later in the day, so it's not wearing off in the middle of the show. And I remembered today.
Good job.
I'm really just proud of me when I remember anything. As everyone knows, I am the most forgetful. I'm a little sad that they didn't use I forgot his name. The guy that did Jango Fett, because I love he's got a really iconic voice. The guy that played Jango Fett in the movie. And he's Boba Fett. I'll remember his name. Or Glenn or Nomengard, and I'll say it. But D. Bradley Baker is just iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
The amount of effort he must have put into every single episode of this. I mean,
I know
4 lines, and to do them in, like you were mentioning, with just enough variation that they feel like different people. I mean, that's got to be an actor's dream, a gig.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's showing your talent.
I would love to see how he kept track of it. Like, does he have a notebook with like all the characters written down? He's like, I put a little bit of a drawl on this one. I did a little bit of like, how does he keep it consistent? That's a hilarious point, Rapunzel. That is so fucking true.
Well, he probably uses the same tricks that a lot of the audiobook narrators have to do, right? Because they have to remember, across. I mean, look at Michael Kramer and Kate Redding.
Yeah.
Yep.
2,000 characters that have lines, and they have, and they're doing them across the gender gap, and they have to be in sync. You have to have shorthands to keep track of each one of them.
Tamora Morrison, that's his name. That's the guy that played Jango Fett and Boba Fett, or the new Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, like that's like I couldn't imagine about trying to keep track of like, but all of the characters in the Wheel of Time, yes. But the thing that's particular about these is they have to be similar,
right?
Because they're clones.
Oh yeah,
but different enough that like honestly, like it was only watching this episode just now that I realized that it never felt monotonous to me watching 5 clones, 6, 7, 10, 20 clones on screen talking. They always felt like different characters. Because in Bad Batch, they are so different, even different looking, that it's easy to differentiate them. But in this, where they they have the same haircut still, they are all look the same. They're all the same height. They're in the same armor. Like to have that subtle nuance in voices and animation is just awesome. What's up, Brock? Better late than never. I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little warm in my Sith cloak, but I'm going to tough it out because Crystal looks fantastic and mine was very low effort. So I'm going to wear it the whole show.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I did sew on this clasp myself. This little clasp, which fell off. And I'm also wearing one of my favorite Star Wars t-shirts underneath. Here, I'll show you.
I like that.
I like this one. I have a whole section of my closet that's just Star Wars t-shirts. I have it literally separated out of my other t-shirts. And yes, my t-shirts are hanging in my closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a Bar Harbor Star Wars fit.
That's wonderful.
Bar Harbor, Maine. So everything's like Maine animals.
I love it.
Well, my tiny human has enough Star Wars shirts now that he's going to wear one every day this week. Nice. He decided on Vader for tomorrow for, Revenge of the 5th. So
perfect. I like the Wheel of Time version, but I forgot who said it. Someone said it in the Dragonmount chat. I mean, the Dragonmount Discord. It's supposed to be the 5th I give you. Yes. So Rand giving the 5th.
Yes.
That's the meme that pops up for me. You were saying, that you get that meme every year. Mine is, may the 4th be with you, the 5th I give you. Or let them have the 4th, the 5th I give you.
The 5th I give you, yeah. And someone pointed out that it would be better to do in March because it would come after March 4th, which sounds like an order, like March 4th. And then we wouldn't have to contend with Cinco de Mayo at all.
Oh. Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Should we move the 5th I give you to March, or should we leave it in May? I kind of like it following Star Wars Day. It's a fun little.
I do. I like being able to respond to all the Star Wars memes with a Wheel of Time meme because that'll represent. Everyone's always already looking at it.
How forgetful I am! I forgot that I was chewing gum and being on call until this moment.
Thank you, Glenn. His school though is celebrating tomorrow.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He was the only kid in his class to wear a Star Wars shirt today. I was really disappointed in the other parents.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was really sad.
Flat tires are no fun, and I feel like if you have a child that goes to like school in the world, they're just always sick. I feel like and then it's double trouble if you have a young school-age child and you're a teacher like you.
Usually I don't get sick. The child just stole my cup, and it was because of it's this I have to get him his own sticker. He was like, I was drinking out of your water.
Yeah, we're finally past that stage. My youngest is 13, but we've got 5 girls, so we were always
bless you.
Oh my God. That
sounds like a nightmare. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's insane. There's a West Wing quote I'm trying to remember. The president has 3 daughters in that, and he goes to like some foreign country, I think it's somewhere in Africa, and they give him a title, and it means father of daughters. And wherever he goes, they give him free things because they feel bad for him and that's what they call him, father of daughters.
I love it.
Yeah. You should make it one of your monikers for like online somewhere. I'll find it. It's a pretty cool like phrase too. Yeah. Oh, Abu El Banat.
Ah.
Okay.
And he was like, yes, and the tribesmen there, they called me Abu El Banat.
That's actually Arabic.
Yeah. I'll post it in chat here. If you hang out with me long enough and if you watch our streams long enough, you'll run into me making West Wing references because it lives in my head as much as the Wheel of Time and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not by choice. It's just there. I don't get to pick what sticks out in my brain, but that's what sticks out in my brain. Okay.
That's a good one to have stuck. That is a good one to have stuck.
I will promote that show all the time. Are you also a fan?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love West Wing. I can almost recite every episode by heart. And that's only because the same thing I do with like the Wheel of Time TV show, the Wheel of Time books, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just put it on in the background often. One of the
best scenes anywhere is in West Wing when it wasn't a podcast, it was before, but she was a content creator before there was content. She was a right-wing talk show host. That's what
she was a radio show person. Yeah,
and he basically like just absolutely destroys her with biblical quotes. That is so classic.
Oh yeah, I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd episode of the 1st season too.
Was it that early?
Yeah, it was so good. I mean, in the very first episode, he really lays down the law on a couple of people as well in the very first episode. But yeah, no, I can't remember. Her name is in my head. I'll remember it. But she claims to be a doctor. Her name is Dr. So and so.
Dr. Laura. They were making, they were very clearly referencing Dr. Laura.
Yes. So. But she's really just like a doctor of like English literature or something, not philosophy or sociology or anything like that. And people call her and ask her for advice, and she was very like super duper like toxic Christian conservative.
No, we're still dealing with that.
Yeah, that's the sad part about the West Wing is that it's still so relevant.
Yeah.
Also, the things that like people get upset at the president for in the show versus like real life is just laughable.
It doesn't even feel like real life.
I know.
We wear timeline.
We are very public. I don't care if it drives away viewers. We very publicly wear our political feelings on our shirts, which is F this administration and everyone that supports it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it went beyond where you can apologize for people a long time
ago. Yeah.
It is so far beyond what is even unconscionable to support.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah. The and the apropos-ness of watching the Clone Wars and the descent into fascism of the Republic is like insanity. How mirroring it is.
Yep. And just the foresight. Of it's like art imitating life, imitating art.
That's pretty much all of human history, I feel like. Yeah. I think it's this episode. Yeah, it's the end of this episode when we really get to see Anakin be like. One of the things that I like about what they did with Anakin in this is they didn't make him so whiny and question, every single order that he gets. Like he like listens to Obi-Wan very often, and there's another instance when they're fighting together here where Obi-Wan's like, "Go do this other thing," and he's like, "Okay," and immediately goes and doesn't question him like he does on every single thing in the fucking movie.
He's just he's possessive. He's petulant. I feel like there's got to be another P word in there somewhere. He's awful. He's just awful in the movies.
Pessimistic, pejorative.
I think they were trying to set him up for, we know what his end is. And so, how do you show, this kid who was this cute little kid in the first movie becoming, the person that's going to turn to the dark side and be the most evil villain in movie history.
Yeah.
And, how do you portray that? And I think the Clone Wars really nailed it where, the movies, not so much.
Yeah.
And there's not enough time. Like, I admit there's not enough time to do that in a movie, but
I wish they gave George Lucas what he wanted, which was like a $300 million budget to do like a 30 episodes, like live action show is what he wanted to do originally.
That would have been good. Oh, Ventress.
Ventress, a girl after your own heart with the Dooku-like lightsabers and fencing style, like because she's obviously very much so taught by Dooku.
Yep.
She's got the curved lightsabers, and even though she uses two, she still does a lot of the same kind of like epee, like flourishing and stuff like that Dooku does.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas most Jedi are much more Eastern samurai derived forms.
There's a really interesting mixture of like samurai katana sword forms and English like longsword type fighting.
That was the big thing in was it the last Ahsoka season where they had the two non-Sith? Yes,
they're like bounty hunter Sith. Not really Sith.
But they talked about it specifically that was they really, really went in for the samurai versus English knight styles.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of the best representations of the differences in those styles without like blending. They kept this like a true style here, true style there without too much blending that they've ever done in a Star Wars thing. I thought that was really, really cool to see on screen.
I'll pull up an example for you, Rapunzel. Rapunzel was asking, do they have curved swords? The sword itself, the lightsaber itself isn't curved, but the hilt is. And you can see what's her name's Asajj's
I love Ventress
lightsaber
so much.
hilt. Yeah, me too.
One of my other favorite characters to come from Thanos.
We lost to Jason.
He was taken.
Here, I'll show you the.
Sorry,
there he is.
My power cord for my laptop was plugged into the one outlet that's connected to the light,
which is off.
So my laptop just told me I'm about to go to sleep.
No, don't do that.
I had to duck under my desk to find the other outlet that would actually work.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, good.
This is Lord Count Dooku's lightsaber, and Asajj Ventress's look very similar to this too, which you could see hanging from her belt there. But yeah, and Christopher Lee specifically asked for that type of handle to have that curve on it,
and that is very much a French style épée grip.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
and as we said before, fucking dude is. Yeah. He also didn't need any choreography like training for his fighting scenes in the films either. He just was that good.
Well, he was a classic. He was like Basil Rathbone, who used to hate starring in movies with Errol Flynn because Flynn couldn't actually not fence.
Okay.
At all. He was horrible. and you know, a lot of the other actors of that genre were masters. You know, they were classically trained. They knew how to actually fence. And that classic move you'll see in a lot of movies where it's like up, down, is like completely useless in a fight, and it's actually called the Flynn because it was the most complicated sword work he could do and still deliver his lines.
Okay.
And so if you watch an Errol Flynn movie, you'll see if he's delivering lines, the sword fighting just devolves into high block, low block, and that's it, both sides.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you could get the lines out.
That's fair. I mean, that's like when people go to like I remember like back in the day, I don't know why Britney Spears popped in my head, but like, you know, like those type of pop singers, they would be lip singing, but that's because look at what they're doing on stage. Like no one can sing and be in those costumes and dancing all over, except for Taylor Swift. But that's because she's ridiculous. This is Asajj Ventress's lightsaber, by the way, which is also Ahsoka Tano's lightsaber.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. We still don't know exactly how that happens and like what everything is there. And I'm hoping my like pie in the sky hope, which I don't think is going to happen, is in the new movies that are coming out for the new Jedi Order. We're going to get Asajj Ventress, Ahsoka Tano, and Rey Skywalker restarting the Jedi Order. Now we know Daisy Ridley is going to be in it, but we don't know any other characters that are going to be in it. But I'm really hoping that it's that Asajj Ventress and Ahsoka Tano show up and like we can't just do the Jedi again like they were. We have to do it better. Yeah,
they have to, and with the three of them, right? You get the dark side, the light side, and the neutral side, and actually build an order that is a balance.
Balanced, yeah.
Yep.
You know, that would be spectacular if they pulled that off.
Same. And I wonder if they're gonna like my big wonder, and so I'm gonna ask your guys' opinion on this. So we don't know if this is still officially canon, but as per Freddie Prinze Jr., who got it from George Lucas, there is no balance between dark and light. The dark side of the Force is a corrupted version of the Force. No dark side is okay. And the Force in general just is the Force and is the quote unquote light side of the Force. That's as per big canon shifts and stuff like that. I agree. And I still want to have a panel at a convention where I can get yelled at by the toxic Star Wars fans that I would like to call why George Lucas is the worst thing that happened to Star Wars. But
man, you would really get booed if you did that.
I know. I would just become more powerful though. But what do you guys think? Do you guys like that? And do you guys think that it would be better if there was like a thing where it's like without the darkness there can be no light without the dark, like more like Wheel of Time? Like
I think there has to be balance. I think you have to have both.
Yeah, and I think that's for us particularly, it's that Wheel of Time influence where we have ingested that view of things because it was so well designed and so well explained in Wheel of Time, and obviously this is a whole different property, a whole different universe, everything. Yeah. But yeah, I think that it's a better story. I think it's a better take. And much more true to the real world. That balance in a lot of ways is necessary.
I really hope they do too. Like that's my hope. I wonder what Glenn and Gnome and everyone in chat think about that type of where does the canon lie on that? Like, what's your opinion on that? Oh, did anyone also get? I forgot his name from 300 from 99 Clone 99 there with the hunchback and the droopy face. I forgot the deformed guy from 300. That's kind of what it felt like a little bit. Like that's kind of who he something Acephalus or something like. It's a very Greek name.
Yeah.
Festicles. Who knows? I personally don't like it, and I hope they change it. I hope that what we see from the new Jedi Order is that, you know, you don't disregard your emotions, you don't bottle up your emotions, you just don't let them rule you.
Mm-hmm. You still have to feel them
Ephalates
and
or
deal with them.
Ephialtes. That's all I could think about every time he was on the screen. So I was waiting for him to like betray them. Like I remember the first time I saw this. Good thing they have aqua droids. Just another toy to market. Aqua droids for the bathtub. Okay, this is the scene where we see a lot. Like, I love the little bit of peppering of darkness that they did into Anakin too. Yeah. It's going to happen here in like a minute. Specifically, what he says to her as she runs away at the end.
Do they play a little bit of the theme here?
We got to listen for it. I don't remember because I forgot the line, and then when he said it, I was like, "Oh damn, motherfucker! That was dark." Here it comes. Yep. The music shifted right there, and there was a little bit dun, 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 and then dun, dun, and then it shifted again right when he said that. I plan to let the clones execute you. Like that was fucking. That was if Obi-Wan heard that, he'd be like,
"Yeah,
excuse me."
It's like there was a meme that came across today. It's the scene from the first movie where Luke says, "Oh, Vader's on that station. How do you know?" I heard his theme music.
That for a very long time that was my mother's ringtone. Was the
when
Imperial
she would
March.
Call you. That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. Now her ringtone and my ringtone for each other are the same. It's Stewie just going, "Mom, Mom, Mommy, Mom." Yeah,
Mommy.
just yeah.
That is real life. That's too close. Yep. That's too close to home.
I changed it in her phone, and she has no idea how to change it. So it's been that for years.
I love it.
Commander Cody breaks my heart every time I see him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you're in the watch party,
99 too.
I know this was a rough episode. If you're in the watch party, we're ending the watch party now, so don't.
I watched just episode 1 of Bad Batch today, and I was so sad. Just seeing Tech again, I was like, it's sad.
You rewatched Bad Batch?
I just watched episode 1.
Oh.
I didn't make it, but I watched 1, 2, and 3, the movies, and then I watched episode 1 of Bad Batch before I had to real life again.
Binary Sunsets. I don't know that one. I'm not a good music person. I'm the worst with like as good as I am with like random movie quotes and random TV quotes and like Wheel of Time trivia and stuff. I am exactly the opposite as bad with anything to do with music.
That's funny.
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know. What's your perfect ratio?
I'm a little shocked that Glenn is he's saying only 5% dark side. As a woman in this world, I'm gonna say like I'll be 70%, light side, but I'm gonna go 30% dark side. I feel like you have to be.
I don't know. Like, I think I would definitely like if you had to put it on a scale of like neutral and light and dark, I might lean a little more into the dark than into the light, but just as it's depicted on screen, like when you think like another thing that I hope they change about the Jedi is like Rey is like, no, we don't do the Jedi mind trick. Like that's horrible. Like we don't, and I hope they don't call it the Jedi mind trick anymore. Like they're like that's taking away someone's agency and on like you can't do that. Like the difference between to use Wheel of Time as an example again, how like morally wrong and like looked down upon and like illegal compulsion is
right.
Versus the Jedi mind trick and fucking stuff.
Fine. It's
temporary. It's just one thought. You're just getting past them, and that's it is. It absolutely is. It's a great example of So if that's something that is fully on the
Good.
side,
Yeah.
you know, how, and again, that's the whole moral ambiguity of everything is relative. And again, it's a great point that comes out in Wheel of Time is, what is your lens? Because your cultural lens is going to affect how you see all of these other things. The Aiel would have a very different view on certain things because that's their cultural lens than someone from Andor. And the same thing, you know, the Jedi had a very particular set of these things are okay, and we're good with them, and yet, you know, because it didn't come from hate and anger,
that doesn't mean it's not bad. Exactly.
Yeah.
See, like, and that's something that I really hope they delve into in the new stuff, is specifically about the Jedi. Like, just because they thought they were on the light side doesn't necessarily mean they were. Like,
well, I think they stopped, I don't know if stopped accepting other points of view as possibly being the right way. They became very set that their way was the only right way. And the second you're like that,
that's it.
Yeah.
How quickly did the the Jedi Order, the masters of peace and tranquility, become generals and murder hobos?
Yeah.
I mean, it was not hard for them. They went murder hobo like that, and
instantaneously.
So, how good is that? You know, what moral scale do they? You know, well, they were on, most of it was droids, so we're just breaking things. We're not actually. Well, you know. You can.
They're just clones.
The sentience of droids is not.
One of my favorite things. Like, I remember my friends and I would always joke about this when we would watch like the movies and play the games and the comic books and stuff like that. Was like, I wonder what the prosthetic market makes on the Jedi fucking Order, because like fucking how does it work? Like, do they have to pay everyone? Like, do they pay for everyone's prosthetics when like a Jedi cuts off a leg or an arm? Like, and like, what companies are making them? Who's making all this money off the Jedi? Like, because like they decapitate and forget about just killing. They dismember people a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just leave people to die often. I feel like the Jedi have been on the wrong side of the like scale of dark side, light side on the Force for a very long, like way prior to the Clone War, like for a very long time, since like the High Republic, like way back. Yeah. Mainly because they made themselves peacekeepers, which are really just, they go around and enforce the law of a planet on other planets. Like you were saying, like culturally, that doesn't really work out with everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's something that I've said a lot, I think, or maybe I just thought it a lot. It could be either. I never really know. Is that the Jedi stopped listening to the Force and more so started listening to their own dogma that they made up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you've even said before, like Qui-Gon was one of the last to really truly listen.
Yep.
Qui-Gon, Ahsoka, Kanan Jarrus also.
Yeah, very true. Yes.
Yep. And now Rey.
Jedi. Ahsoka didn't consider herself a Jedi.
No. Yep.
So, you know, and again, it's that gray Jedi kind of mindset that hopefully, like we were saying, hopefully that's what we get out of the new series, the new movies.
Same. Yeah, I hope for that as well, because it's honestly like, or some version of that, because the dogmatic, no relationship, no emotionless like Jedi is just old at this point. Like, it's just like, I want something different, just so that it will be more interesting to watch. Because just watching people fall from that again is just like, oh yeah, obviously
it's also a point in time. You know, you look at where culture was back when the first movies came out, that kind of resonated, and you know, we've evolved a lot as a culture, and we, especially on the masculine side of things, where a lot of us are a lot more in touch with emotions and able to deal with emotions in a way that in the 70s, that was getting buried. That was the good thing. We bury our emotions and
push it
and
down deep.
Did that, and we moved past that. And so I think that hopefully, a new order for a new, because obviously anything art is going to reflect the culture and the time it was made, and I think that's a really important thing for it to stay relevant. That it does have to reflect more of the changes in society since the first movies came out in the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, like culture always influences art and vice versa, which is actually kind of a fun segue. I guested on another show recently, which is all about conspiracy theories. It's not out yet. It's called Not Entirely Plausible by Alan from the Wheel Reads. I always mix the Wheel Reads, Wheel Weaves, like the Wheel Read, like they're all, I think it's the Wheel Reads. Alan from the Wheel Reads. He's starting a new conspiracy theory podcast that he's doing called Not Entirely Plausible. And I guessed it on an episode where we talked about, does art influence, like did the CIA use art to influence culture and something? And I, like, at the end we judged on how true the thing could be, and it's absolutely true. Like, government uses, like, even if they don't use it specifically to do it, which we know they did in during the Cold War, they pushed a lot of American art and things that are staply American into Russia to like influence their culture, specifically blue jeans.
Yeah.
Blue jeans, I don't know if they're still illegal, but they were illegal up until the early 2000s in Russia. They were illegal. You couldn't wear them, you couldn't own them. Blue jeans, just Wrangler jeans.
Yeah, everybody had, because it was the status symbol, and you couldn't wear them in public, but everybody had them. Yeah. And they were all smuggled in. I think that's been lifted. I do think that they can get them legally now. I
was gonna say, isn't that like famous picture of shirtless Putin on a horse? Isn't he wearing blue jeans in that picture? Like, I think he is. But yeah, like I totally. But long roundabout way of saying, I totally agree with you that I could see them. They have to do something different because of where everything stands culturally at this point. Yep. I do hope Nomen Garden is not correct, and we get another version of a Death Star. Like, when they brought out Star Killer Base, I was like, all right, cool. They called it Star Killer, which for deep in the weeds Star Wars people, that was the original name before Skywalker was Star Killer. The movie was about Anakin Starkiller and his journey through things, and it evolved into what we got. But come on, just can we stop with the giant planet destroying fucking things? Like,
and I'm sorry, it was able to shoot planets that were in different solar
systems. Yeah,
like how?
like
light years away, and what, the beam is traveling through hyperspace? Like,
yeah, the beam of light, which is what a laser is, is traveling faster than light through hyperspace.
Right?
Come on, like, it was.
Yeah, someone missed pretty big on that one.
Yeah, that was really low effort.
Explain it. Like if you're going to do something weird like that, you have to at least have some kind of a technical explanation of, this uses this new technology, and we wave our hands and it does it. They didn't make an effort.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I would disagree with that. I would push back on that a little bit, because I think if J.J. Abrams was allowed to do his vision from the whole thing, it would have been much better. But J.J. Abrams did the first movie, got fired. Then the second guy they brought in, Ryan Johnson, got fired, and he had to come back and cobble together something. Who knows who did that? Now, I'm not saying he's not responsible for a lot of the dumb shit that was in those movies, but I don't know how much he did that Star Killer Base. But also, like, that's the size of a planet. We don't know how big it is. Let's just say, like, we'll give them, it could be a little bit smaller than Earth. That's still so much material. How did they mine that much metal and no one knew?
Right.
Like, that's how they discovered the first Death Star, and this thing was like 10 times as big.
Yeah.
Was they found
And
resources?
is they're trying to shoehorn a story that needs 6 books worth of lore to make sense into a movie.
Yeah.
And this is why like Hollywood's having issues, right? Project Hail Mary has revitalized people. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, friggin' amazing movie.
So good.
The the long form storytelling that we're used to in our epics does not translate to movies, and they realized it a little too late for Harry Potter, and Game of Thrones really kind of showcased, look, this is how we should be making books into visual content. You need this much time to develop everything and explain everything so that you're not leaving 90% of the story on the cutting room floor or not filming it in the first place. Yeah. And the fact that The Lord of the Rings was able to be such a good adaptation is really an amazing achievement. If you've I don't know how much of Sanderson's talks you've listened to lately, but he's talked a lot lately about, because he's actually writing the screenplay for the first Mistborn movie,
which is crazy.
It's insane. Like, I mean, he went to Apple and said, I have to have complete creative control, which no one has ever given to anyone. Writer. And they said, yes. That's balls.
Insane. Yeah, it's insane.
But it's he's done the research. He's spent the last year researching so much about what makes an adaptation good, what makes it fail, what makes it, and the stuff he's said about how he's crafting this first screenplay is really incredible. If you've seen it, but I mean, he's really talking about, when you're doing a screenplay, you have to have a single plot arc story. You can have like other stuff that's not fluff, but that's ancillary. Yeah. But you have to be telling a single unified story. And you look at the first Mistborn book, there are 6 different stories there. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I had to pick one. There's a heist story. There are several, new people finding powers stories. That there's all these different things that are going on in that one book. And it's a short book as these things go. And so he had to pick one and then pull all the other stuff in through the lens of that one story. So it's a contiguous whole that makes sense in the format of the time that they have. Yeah. So,
and I've always said that I don't mind like when things get changed and stuff like that. Like, I remember when Marvel first was coming out with stuff and everyone was all upset that they were changing Iron Man and Thor and things were different. I was like, who gives a shit? Yeah. Like, I don't want to know exactly what's going to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather have a new telling of the story. Mm-hmm. And yeah, maybe they're going to get to the same end point, but the journey is going to be different. And to steal another thing from Brandon Sanderson, the journey is what's important. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was excited about with the Wheel Time TV show. And that's what I'm excited about with the Star Wars stuff. Even these sequel movies that came out, I enjoyed them. Like I enjoyed the little bits of lore that we got in it that added to things. I loved the Kylo Ren's lightsaber was cool. I thought that was cool. And then the lore that they built around that it was like an ancient lightsaber that he went and found. I would love to see more of that. Yeah. I think they did some stuff in like the comics with it, but and then the little I hadn't watched those movies in a while, in like a couple of years.
I haven't seen them in years.
I watched them again last week, and I forgot how funny there are some scenes in those movies, and they all revolve around Kylo Ren being like a douchey, like dude bro man baby. And I laughed so fucking hard again when the stormtroopers, like, he starts destroying like a computer console with his lightsaber, and 2 stormtroopers come around a corner and hear him doing that and just go and turn around and walk back the other way. And I was like, come on, like that, like they knew what they were doing with it. They knew they were making him petulant and annoying, and like that was a purposeful choice. And it just says a lot about the Sith and who they attract.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would love that.
So the original cut, the first cut of the movie, was over 4 hours long.
I'd watch it.
So that is what a lot of people have been chatting about online is okay, just that's the director's cut. Just give us that.
Just release the whole fucking thing.
Oh, we'll sit through that. I'll tell you, I took two of my girls to see it, and neither of them had read the book. My 13-year-old was like, "Get me the book." I had it on Audible. I put it on her phone, and she started listening to it on the ride home, and when she finished it, she turned around and was like, "Okay, I'll start Wheel of Time now."
That's fantastic. We might get a.
Can I see Leo? So.
Yeah, we might be getting our producer back on set. Go in your bed, buddy. So I usually have my cat cam on, but our new cat Leo has been off gallivanting around. But he just went into his bed. So let's turn the cat cam on.
Oh, he's upside down.
Oh, he's upside down, and his butt is facing the camera. I'll fix it. But so it seems like you've raised your daughter as well, though, with all the reading that they want to be doing. So that's fantastic.
We do try.
Have any of them read Wheel of Time? So
yes, my second oldest is a massive Wheel of Time and Sanderson fan. She was my excuse to get to JordanCon, and she's been to 2, and then went to school, and of course she goes to school in Dublin, in Ireland.
Oh,
and,
that's awesome.
I know.
Super jealous.
And she's it's finals week right when JordanCon hits, so she hasn't been able to come for the last 2 years. And then one of my other daughters really likes the Skyward series and has been starting to get into
I love that series
and stuff. So yeah, we have a bit of fandom in the house.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Sorry, buddy. He had something stuck in his fur and I pulled it out, but he seems to be excited. I really love the Skyward books. Like this might be, I don't know, it's not a hot take or anything, but like I enjoy the Skyward books more so than the rest of which is not Cosmere, than a lot of the Cosmere stuff, to tell you the truth. Like I don't know why. They're not bad or anything. I don't have anything negative to say about them. I've read all of the Sanderson Cosmere stuff and I enjoy it, but like I didn't find myself like wanting to go back and reread it again. Mm-hmm. But I found myself wanting to go back and reread the Skyward books. Like I've listened to that first Skyward book more than once. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. The
series is great, and it's different for him because it is actually a sci-fi. And it's an interesting take. You know, the physics that he uses are new. Like I haven't seen anything quite like that. Some of the concepts that he has in there, and the characters are just fun. I think that's part of it. Is he really has, they're in a very serious situation, but they're still very, juvenile, fun characters, but they can still get the job done. When they need to. I had to do a speed reread of the entire Cosmere last year because
what forced?
Well, because I was going to put off doing Cards Against the Cosmere until
because you needed to,
and found out I'm on staff, so I actually found out a little bit early. Maybe a month ahead of when the actual announcement went out that he was actually going to show up at JordanCon this year. And I was like, well, now I have to get it done. And it was already September. And so with Wheel of Time, I didn't have to do a reread to write the cards. I've read the book more than 30 times. I know it back to front. But I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any pieces of the Cosmere to go into the deck. And so I basically did a 3.5 month speed read, all on audio, through the Cosmere, taking notes.
I was gonna say, did you hit like all the highlights as wow.
So there are pieces from every single world, from every series. Every single book has at least a reference. Threnody only has about 5 or 6 cards, but all the secret projects books are in there. Like everything from White Sands all the way through to Isles of the Emberdark. Everything gets hit.
Wow.
And it's like
White Sands. That's a deep cut.
Oh yeah. So I actually put Cards Against Humanity. When you have multiple sets, you get the little symbol in the corner.
Yeah.
So I did that, but the symbols are the world.
The world symbol. That's cool. That's really cool.
And then there's a little guide. There's one card that has a guide that shows you the symbol, what the series name, the world name, and then how many cards are included. So if you get a card and you completely don't get the reference, you can check and say, oh, it's White Sands. Okay, I guess I can figure out what the reference means, or I'm skipping this card. I'm gonna draw something else.
That's cool.
So.
And just to remind everybody again, you can take commissions to make.
I can take commissions on the Cards Against the Cosmere, and yep, that's my. I actually don't have Cosmere on there yet. Cards Against the Wheel, but you can reach me directly, and it's actually. It's a little cheaper if you come to me directly than if you go through Etsy. But there's a lot of stuff that I've done that is up there. I really need to update from some of the things that I did this year. I need to get them up on my Etsy now that I have them kind of in the bank.
But they can contact you through Etsy.
They can contact me through there and or directly on Discord. I'm on the Discord now, so feel free to just ping me. I can do custom stuff. You can see some of the stuff that I've done. Most of it is centered around Matt, because again, that's my cosplay.
Yeah, just to remind everyone, if there's anyone that wasn't here earlier,
it's so cool.
Your book carrier that you had for yourself and you've done commissions for this on this for other people. You said,
there was someone at Jordan Con. There's this there's a group that does a Barbie Day, where they dress up like in all pink, and it's hysterical. And so someone has one of those, but it's all tricked out in like bright fluorescent pinks.
That's wonderful.
Really beautiful.
That's wonderful.
And then I'm actually, it's running on my laser right next to me right now, is another one for another person who wanted at Jordan Con who commissioned me for one. So
that's cool. That's really cool. And that's another thing that I love to see is nerds supporting other nerds in their nerddom doing things.
Absolutely.
To tap back on the Cosmere side of things, since you just did this massive reread, before we do your inside the Dragonmount studio questions,
sure.
Do you have a fate like a one of? Do you have a specific world that you liked more than the others? Like, did you or were you particular to like the stuff in White Sands or Warbreaker or Elantris or whatever?
So I feel like as a book, Elantris is still one of my favorites.
Me too.
I think that shifts a little bit with the secret projects, because both Tress and Yumi were just, but like from a liking the world
and the magic systems and stuff like that.
I love the way all of his magic systems are tied together with like a core physics that follows them, but they have such different expressions on the different worlds. Warbreaker is so vibrant and alive, and yet it just has this thread of darkness through. Everyone's giving up a piece of their soul so that others can have power. I think there's something in each of them that I really like. I'd say White Sands is probably like the lowest for me on the list.
Okay.
And
I feel like that's the least fleshed out one too.
It is, because it was a graphic novel that then didn't get anything else, kind of, except for the fact that several characters from it are in the greater Cosmere and show up quite a bit. Yeah. And so it's almost like you need it as a primer for knowing where these people came from.
That's fair.
And it's also, I feel like, one of the ones where the physics make the least sense. The tidally locked planet, the way it works, it doesn't really work from a science minded
cosmology
right.
point of view.
Whereas most of the other places,
Cosmological
stuff that happens really does. The physics are actually quite good.
Yeah, he does put a lot of effort into trying to get it.
Well, he's a world builder. I mean, that's what world building and magic systems are his thing, and he does a really great job with them.
100%. I loved what he did with the One Power in the End of the Wheel of Time series.
Like, absolutely.
Especially with what's his name? Starts with an A. The guy that makes the Waygates. Andril, yeah.
Yep.
I was like, my brain was just screaming Abel, and I'm like, that's not it. That's not the right one.
That's Matt's dad.
Yeah. But I loved what he did with the Waygates with that. That was really cool. And then like there were little subtle things that you could tell were Brandon influences on the One Power in those last couple of books. That were really cool.
There was something with gateways. This was one of the questions I asked him at the signing. Actually, no, I asked it to him at his panel. So there's a scene in the last book, spoiler warning, where Rand exhibits a shortcut for one of the big limiters on gateways. And that was something that had been discussed in fandom for a long time. And so I asked him, was including that something that was in Robert Jordan's notes, that he knew that this was a thing and said to include it? Or is it something that you came up with on your own, just noticing the loophole? Or is it something that you kind of absorbed from fandom because he was in fandom too, and decided to include it? And he said, and the answer was, he definitively said it was not in the notes, but it was too long ago. He can't say for certain whether it was something he had come up with or whether he had absorbed it from conversations in fandom, which I thought was a fair answer to the question.
Yeah, I feel like that's the answer to a lot of questions like that.
Oh yeah,
with writers. One of my favorite quotes, again from The West Wing, is "Good writers borrow and great writers steal outright." Mm-hmm. And that was from Toby Ziegler, the head speechwriter and the director of communications for the White House. So like, and I actually mentioned that to Brandon. Like I said that to him and he's like, absolutely, I agree. Obviously you don't want to directly plagiarize things, but to pay homages and to show your influence is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. And I love that. His magic systems particularly are usually my favorite. Crystal, remind me, where are you with the Brandon stuff? Have you read Brandon?
Not a lot of it. So Mistborn is the only thing I've ever completed. I probably shouldn't say this out loud. I had some issues with his writing of Matt. A
lot of people did.
In the series. I know because Matt was so special to me. And so I never really gave his other stuff a chance. I own most of it. It's amazing to me the past few weeks how much more his stuff has sold at I own a bookstore. How much more of his stuff has sold since the stuff has been announced too.
Oh, of course. Yeah. He's gonna just explode all over again. It's gonna be he's going to be ridiculously rich. Like he already is.
He already is. But
well, he's not like insane like some people.
For an author though.
It's for an author, he's like the top tier. Like he's right up there with like the richest authors. But like if this show does real well, forget it.
Oh.
Yep.
If this show does real well, you're going to see video games and toys, and it's going to be like Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter is now, with how indicative it is and how influential it is on all of media, not just film and TV and stuff. It's going to be crazy.
That's what I'm really hoping for especially when he gets to Stormlight, because the representation in Stormlight of things like mental health and gender fluidity and all those kinds of things that are so critical, right? Nothing is going to has been seen to the level of what Stormlight has. And so if they get that onto the screen, it's going to do so much good for so many people. Like that reason alone, like it needs to get made.
I agree. I have a really good friend that I actually met playing video games, who has DID, dissociative identity disorder, and when she started reading Stormlight, she was like just blown away at Shallan and how she deals with that, and seeing that depiction in book of a character that isn't like a mess or labeled as crazy and insane and living on the street and being like an insane person, like is really, like you said, very important to see. And that's literally
not a book that's specifically about mental health. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a real story. It's not just like there's some great novels out there that deal with the topic, but they're specific. That's their topic.
Yeah.
We're telling a real story, and we have to also be giving this representation.
Exactly.
It has not been seen at this level.
Yeah. Another great example that I would say is right along the lines with how well he does it there and not making it like everything about her, Shallan. Mm-hmm. It's just another piece of her, and there's and then you get to see the whole of her, as you read the books. But another really good example of that for a show, another callback, is Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, she's blind, and never in the show do they even ever talk once about like trying to fix her blindness or it being a detriment in any way. And my favorite is the amount of jokes that she makes at her own expense with her blindness.
Oh yeah.
Because I've known a bunch of people that were completely blind and partially blind and had, bad vision, and they were exactly like that. I've never met, and especially I know a lot of people that I am disabled, but not as physically as, being blind. But I know a lot of people that are extremely disabled or, are missing limbs, and they joke more about that type of stuff than anyone I would ever see. So to see that representation and that depiction of it in Toph was fantastic. Yeah. And I think my favorite will still be when Sokka drew Appa, and was like, and she's like, I think it looks just like him. And he's like, thank you. Why do you do that? It's just absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And they don't treat her any differently, and it's the same as Shallan. Like they, they talk about it, and it's part of her character, and then she uses it to her advantage and sometimes to her disadvantage. But it's just another part of her character, and I like that a lot. Oh, man, yeah, we could talk about Stormlight all night, but it's getting late, and so our Inside the Dragonmount studio thing that we do here is, in case you didn't pick up on my clever naming stuff, it's to pay homage to James Lipton, and James. I wanted to say Jason, but it's not. No, James Lipton, and Inside the Actors Studio, which was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I thought it was a fun way to toss the end of our stream here back at our guest, a way to showcase you a little bit. And I did remember this time, so. Welcome, Jason, Inside the Actors Studio with Lord Thomas of the Sith and Darth Aquina, apparently, because we're doing it in costume. I need to get like a James Lipton costume. That's what I need to do.
Just don't do one of the creepy masks. Those things terrify.
Oh, those like real,
realistic,
faces,
like
no.
So scary.
Yeah, they're too
color the beard real quick, right?
Yeah, put some more gray in it. I'm almost there myself. I'm excited. I want it to go gray. I'm excited about it going gray. All right. Anyway, we start off with the most hard hitting question first, just to get it right off the bat. What is your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite what store?
Oh, dinosaur. Sorry.
Oh, dinosaur. Oh, it's almost a cliche, but the Velociraptor from the Jurassic Park movies is kind of hard to beat.
It's fair. AKA Deinonychus. That's the real name. Yeah. The Velociraptors they were tiny.
They were tiny, yeah, the little guys. Yeah.
But and they were called Deinonychus in the book.
Right.
When they were making the movie, that didn't sound cool enough, and Velociraptor was cooler, so they changed the name. But it's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite word?
Yes, some we did just take right from James Lipton.
Mhm.
Favorite word. It depends on the day. It really does. I'll go with consent.
That is a good one too. Okay, it's Utah Raptor. Okay. Thank you, Noman Garden. And then your least favorite word? Could just be whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to. We're not going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with hate.
That's a good one. What is an everyday sound that you love?
My kids' voices.
Oh.
And then a sound that you don't like?
This will be very specific. One of our dogs is a little. We've got 3 big dogs and 1 little dog, and the little dog is obsessed with the neighbor's dog. And when it's out there, she yips at a very, very high pitch. I do not like that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Is the little dog like the boss? I feel like that happens a lot.
No, our oldest dog, who is
that makes sense.
pushing 12 now, still is the boss. But she definitely she plays the baby like because I mean she's a 12-pound dog. Our biggest one is 130. So it's a good range. But they all treat her like she's a baby puppy because she's the size of her head.
Yeah.
The big dog's head. So it's more of that kind of a dynamic.
Okay. And I'm going to require you to, in the Dragonmount Discord when we're done here, to post a couple of pictures in the Pets on Dragonmount.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to put some up. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely got to see the puppies.
You got it.
Okay. So what is your favorite curse word and or your favorite like fantasy sci-fi replacement curse word?
Oh, blood and bloody ashes, of course.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I've always been partial to feck, especially the way Guy Roberts said it is Uno in the thing. I don't know why I like it.
I also like frack from
from Battlestar. BSG is great. I love BSG and another little Star Wars nod to what's her name?
Sackhoff.
Starbuck. Yeah, Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen her rewatch? She's never actually seen Battlestar. She's watching it with her husband.
That's amazing. I have not. I'm going to look that up immediately.
Their clips are great because she remembers like what's going on in the scene and what happened behind the scene, but she's never actually watched it.
Watch the show. That's fucking phenomenal.
It is. I mean, I've only seen clips of it. I have not had time to actually watch the whole thing, but it is classic.
That might have to go on in the background when I'm doing something tomorrow. Okay. Who or what was your first fictional crush, and do you have one now?
Ooh. Crap. I mean, I'm old. I really don't remember, and that sucks.
That's fair.
But like, I mean, with the timeline, I mean, it may have been. It probably was. No, I'll tell you who it was. But it was Baroness.
Oh shit, Baroness from G.I. Joe. Oh,
wow. Okay.
I definitely think. Yeah. Baroness was a very large influence on me as well. I'll find a picture of Baroness so that people can, if anyone that isn't a fan of the old school G.I. Joe cartoons, 100% Baroness. Specifically, if you were into the toys, there was this specific one, and the art on this one is another cool nod and a Star Wars reference. The guy that did all of the box art for the 80s 3.5-inch G.I. Joes, the ones that are from the cartoon series, his name is Dave Dorman, and he's a huge Star Wars artist as well. Like if you're into Star Wars art and stuff, like he's been one of the official Star Wars artists for like 40 years or something like
I've
that.
seen his name on a bunch of stuff. I remember.
Oh yeah, he's been the guest of honor, not just the artist guest of honor, but the guest of honor at San Diego Comic-Con numerous times. But this is Baroness, is what he looks like, and this is his art from the box of the 3.5-inch character. But yeah, 100%. All right, your turn. Yeah, it's your turn.
Sorry. Okay. Which Clone Wars character would make the best roommate and why?
Ooh. I think my answer is just always got to be Ahsoka, because she just there's nothing else. No one else compares on any level.
Yeah, especially just how considerate she is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I think the obvious next one is who's the worst.
Anakin.
I was going to say, why is it Anakin?
A lot of people say Anakin, and I agree with every one of them. Oh God, he would just be so annoying. I mean, there's obvious answers like Jabba the Hutt, but like that's just like that's a species barrier.
Right.
You know, if you were also a Hutt, it wouldn't be that bad.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, I just have a random question.
Kobold, not Kobold. The what's the word?
The werewolf looking ones?
No. I can't remember the D&D term for them, but like Jabba's guards, they look like
the Gamorrean. The pig guys.
The pig guys, yeah.
Yeah. They kind of look like pig orcs is what they kind of look like. Yeah, because they're green.
Hey Tom,
absolutely.
If you had to room with one of the bounty hunters, which bounty hunter would be the best roommate?
Which bounty hunter would be the best roommate? Not Mando, I feel like not Din Djarin, because like he would be so tight-assed about all the Mando stuff. And be like, just take the helmet off. Like, he'd just be sitting there at the dinner table, like not eating, and then disappear in his room for like an hour to eat. And, like, just take it off. You know what? And only because Gamorrean. Thanks. I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's how you spell it. Asajj.
Okay.
I think like would she be a good roommate? I don't think so. But it would be fun. I would have a lot of fun with her. And it wouldn't be like, I don't think she would be like gross or anything. So like I don't think she would be dirty, but I don't think she would be like the best roommate to have. She's definitely going to be coming in all hours of the night. She's going to be smelling like laser burns and blaster burns, and you don't know who's going to come into the apartment to try to kill her. Like, but yeah, no, I think I'd like late stage Asajj, like when she's actually a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, sorry. So if you were given the opportunity to assume a job or align with any group from a realm of fiction, like the Aes Sedai, the Jedi, Woodland Elf, what would it be?
Ooh. The Ogier.
Oh, okay.
No one's ever said that one before. That's a good choice. Would you be a Mason Ogier or like
gotta be a true
singer?
I was gonna say yeah.
But you know, endless books and you can sing to make things grow.
And a lot of time.
Mm.
And so, did you find Aerith's ears as attractive as Loyal did in the series as well?
I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
That's good choice. Good choice. All right. Was that our last one?
No. So it's what would be the worst job or vocation? Something you would not want to be a part of from any realm of fiction.
The guy who has to clean out those garbage compactors on the desk.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah.
That would be a bad one.
That would be bad and super dangerous. Oh my God. I want someone that has like a budget to make like dangerous. Remember that the show Dangerous Jobs with Mike Rowe?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
But make like a fantasy version or like a nerd version where they do different. Like the guy that has to clean up the trash compactor in Star Wars, and like the person that has to clean the Rancor's teeth in Jabba's palace and just like random funny bullshit. I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyway,
the guy who has to shovel out under the gibbets from a mass lynching of the White Cloaks.
Oh God, that would be terrible. Oh, especially if it was like, one thing that I will say that the TV show did far better than the books was make the White Cloaks scary.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a great choice on the show. They really ramped that up.
Yeah, if it was Abdul Silas's Emanvalda in charge, yeah, that would be the worst job. Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, with the bird, I will never get that scene out of my head.
That bird
ever.
I will say I kind of want to try it, but I think it's a little too inhumane of the bird thing. I still kind of want to try it.
No.
All right. So our last question, which is actually the deeper one. Hopefully 100 years from now, you die. And in front of you is a death-looking character, but he's wearing overalls and a leather jacket. And he appears in front of you like, remember the old school, and here, you'll get this too. When you would go to like CD stores and record stores, in the back, they would always have like the posters and the big thing that you could flip. Imagine that, but it's all different versions of afterlives that you've seen from movies and video games and books. And you could pick from any of them. What are you seeing?
Afterlife in the books or the books as the afterlife?
Whatever happens to you when you die from those books or TV shows or video games or whatever you want. So like, in the Wheel of Time, you get spun, your soul goes back into the pattern and you get spun back out again. And then, which the one with, Gerard Butler, Gladiator, he goes to the Fields of Elysium and things like that. So like, what do you see in your repertoire and which would you pick?
Well, if I have enough control, I would be bound as a hero of the Horn.
Ooh, I like that.
And spend eternity in Teller and Riyadh, except when I get spun out to go and party with Arthur Hawkwing.
That would be freaking awesome. Still the scene that I wish we had in the last book was Arthur Hawkwing. I want to see Arthur Hawkwing yelling at Tuon. Still want to see that.
Yes. That would be awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for indulging our little nonsense.
Thank you for having me
here. Yeah, absolutely, man. You're welcome to come back whenever you want. I will always let you know when we do a new show. We still have a while to go on Clone Wars.
That'll be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be July sometime when we start our new show. But like usual, we are going to let our patrons in Patreon vote for the shows that we're going to watch, and we're going to get a final 2, and then bring it to our viewers and vote live on what show we'll watch next when the time comes. But don't hesitate to start throwing TV shows out there for Dirty Jobs. That was the name of it. Thank you, Aaron. Not Dangerous Jobs. Dirty Jobs with Micro. But don't hesitate. Throw names of shows and movies for our movie nights that we do with our patrons as well. We watch movies, and I'll let you know when we're gonna watch a new movie. I'm sure we'll stumble upon something that you enjoy.
What are we gonna watch soon, Tom?
I don't know.
Today? What did we talk about today?
What did we talk about today?
Wow,
I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, tonight. Like you mean tonight? Like right now?
Not tonight. Never mind.
No, tell me, what was it?
No.
What? You were just gonna have me say it. You say it.
This is how little you pay attention to me. We were gonna watch the 2D animation that you like.
Oh, right, the 2D. Yeah. I was thinking movies. That's my brain was still on movies. Yes, we're gonna set up a time where Crystal and I and anyone who wants to join us will watch the 2D animated, like the old school Clone Wars cartoon that came out.
Yeah. No, that was so lit.
Yeah, it was good and bad at the same time.
But it was so bad it was good. Like the things that were bad were they were camp. It was great.
Yeah. I don't understand their obsessions with chariots in that. I remember everyone had chariots.
Okay.
No, dead ass. Like there were chariots everywhere. Everyone was riding around on chariots in that fucking thing. Like
what year was it? Like
2004 2005, 2004. I want to say
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 years before like the proper version of the Clone Wars came out, and it was like that. Some of the art was questionable. We've talked about that, but we're gonna set up a time and watch that. We'll probably watch it with the patrons as well, and
it's about to be summer, guys. This teacher's gonna have a lot more time. I've got a lot of
time on her
content to consume.
Yes.
I'll always throw in BSG and The Expanse to any list for watching.
Absolutely. That BSG is on it. I have to add The Expanse. I've actually only ever watched the first few episodes of the first season of The Expanse. Not for any particular reason. I think something else came out, or I think it was when I started watching it was like when Wheel of Time was first starting coming out, and we were doing so much content creation around it that I just didn't really consume any other media other than Wheel of Time for like 2 years.
Because we had to watch Wheel of Time frame by frame by
That's
frame every episode.
I have also uploaded on the Patreon are hundreds of the screenshots that I took throughout watching all 3 seasons of Wheel of Time. So I
read The Expanse first, and it was fantastic. But I will say, and if you do a rewatch of The Expanse for season 1, start with the finale and then watch the rest.
Okay, that's interesting.
Like the whole thing flows so much better.
Okay,
everything
I'm gonna do that.
If you do if you start with the finale and then go episode 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I like doing things that are a little weird like that, so I'm gonna do that. I will report to you how as I watch it how I feel about that.
Awesome.
I'm interested in that. That's really cool. And again, the link for your Etsy is in the description of this video, and I will share it in chat again. Make sure to go and at least follow. If you don't have the money right now, because I know it is very expensive right now. The median price of gas, I think, is currently as close to $5 as I've ever seen it in my life.
It's crazy.
But at least you can follow the Etsy page, and when things get better, we can start buying our fun little merch again from all of the awesome artists and creators that make stuff, especially in the Wheel of Time community. Like you guys just make awesome shit.
It's true.
A lot of the old school folks, got shut down.
Yep.
By when the show started, and then they never made anything.
That's the thing that really pissed me off.
The annoying part. They had the opportunity for so much, and
they shut down so many local artists.
Yep.
The one thing I did learn at JordanCon this year, they are opening that back up. The fan artists are able to actually apply for the right to actually commercially
sell them.
They have to go through. There's a process they have to go through. They have to get authorized, the whole thing, But they're actually finally at least allowing that process to start.
I wonder what Sony's contracts will look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no clue. But I just that is starting to open up.
That's nice.
So that's nice.
That's good. And we did see that Direwolf Games finally announced that they're going to be making that Wheel of Time board game, which is really cool.
I learned about that at JordanCon, and I was not allowed to say anything, which was Nakamura, who Sarah, was at the con, and she's the lead on that and several other things. Look, I am a big hater of IWAT. But there have been changes, and Sarah has a lot of creative control.
That's great.
And so there are things that might actually get completed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Those guys have yet to complete a single thing that they've said that they were going to do.
Exactly. But it seems like they finally realized that no one's going to give them money if they, announce things for 20 years and don't actually ever produce anything. Yeah. So they're getting off apparently, this is what we're hearing. They're getting off the stick, and there's going to, then this board game is the first one that's going to be coming out.
But it's made by Direwolf Games, not
right. But it's still, but the other
in conjunction with.
Yeah. did you hear that the rumors about AI with the animated series that they announced? So
No.
so the thing was
We talked about it, I feel like.
yeah, it's not content creation AI. The company that did the particle physics for the TV series
Okay.
has a project that they're building an AI tool for managing all of the image layers throughout an entire project.
That's
And they want to pilot that program on the animated series.
yeah. I mean, as long as it's not
AI generated art.
yeah.
They're using so there was a lot of people were getting a lot of hate out that, oh, one, it's IWAT, two, it's there's a lot of other stuff that's questionable, and now there's this AI thing. The AI thing is not generative; it's a management tool. So
Yeah. And I'm fine with AI being used as a tool for things, and we've used AI as a tool for things for a very long time. We just didn't call it AI.
yeah. Well, because it's not AI; it's machine learning. So
It's just machine learning. Yeah. Like one of the, I was talking to an artist actually who is very against AI, and they are a digital artist, and they use, and I'm like, you're using AI right now. Like right now you're using it. And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, you make a pen in your Apple, art thing that draws, like you design something. And it was, I think they were drawing like a picket fence or painting or whatever you call it for digital art, a picket fence. And they developed the pickets for the fence and then made a brush that will paint those pickets on. That's generative AI. That's what that is. That's generative machine learning to put those things together. And it's the same thing, which is like, now I'm against complete creation of AI and then people putting their name on it and putting it out as work and stuff like that. And then that being included with human artists in things. Like if you want to have a category for AI created art and do stuff with that with art, sure, whatever. But I want to see people making the art for things like, especially something that's got such a huge community of artists behind it, like the Wheel of Time.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there are artists within the Wheel of Time community that would pay for the opportunity to do it, let alone, be paid as an employee. So,
Yep.
But anyway, I'm excited. I want to see what they do. It's not like I'm not going to consume it if it's made. I just have very low hopes on it being completed.
Trust but verify. They don't have a good track record.
Yeah. Still waiting on that Wii game that they said they were going to make 20 years ago.
They have to deliver, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what I've been hearing from people that I trust.
Yeah, with Sarah on the case,
there is reason for hope that we will actually get some of these things that they've been talking about recently.
That's good.
I'm willing to have hope.
Me too. Always have hope, and that's a great line from Star Wars too. Hope. You can't kill hope. Speaking of you can't kill things, say goodnight, Crystal.
Good night, Crystal.